right, here we go.
Excuse me.
So,
What am I?
anybody know anything about the Pythagorean theorem?
They're right.
It deals with right triangles, yes. Okay, what else? It deals with right triangles, what else? Has anybody ever heard of the Pythagorean theorem?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what it says.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Going out to the world too. Alright, so
Pythagorean.
Pythagorean theorem says this. Side c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Have y'all ever seen that before?
Yes.
Okay, that's what the Pythagorean theorem says. Okay, and you should have gone over this like when you were a sixth grader.
Six.
All right, some of you might have been sleeping. Okay, Amy, you need to be quiet. You're going out to the world. All right, here we go.
YouTube.
To understand the Pythagorean theorem, you need to understand what this means. And to understand what this means, you need to understand the sides of a right triangle. Okay? The side opposite the 90-degree angle. That is this side here. It is opposite the 90-degree angle. It is called the hypotenuse. And which one of these letters stands for the hypotenuse? C stands for the hypotenuse. Some things you need to know about the hypotenuse. It will always, always, always be the longest side of a right triangle. I'll say that again. It will always, always, always be the longest side of a right triangle. Okay, does everybody understand that? So if I give you three numbers and three numbers only and no picture, you can identify which one of these is the hypotenuse. Which number there is the hypotenuse?
8.5.
8.5. Which number there is the hypotenuse?
31.8.
31.8. Okay, simple enough, right? All right. The next two sides are called the legs. We have a leg here, and we have a leg here. All right? The legs can be either A or B. What do you mean by that? Well, if I use this side as A, this side is B. If I use this side as B, then this side is A. Okay? In other words, they're interchangeable. All right? And the reason they are interchangeable is because in the theorem itself, we have addition. 2 plus 3 equals 5, right? Well, last time I checked, 3 plus 2 equals 5 also. Okay, does everybody understand?
They're what again?
All right, they're interchangeable. So that's the Pythagorean theorem in a nutshell. Now, we're going to break it down even more because not only sometimes do we have to find what C is equal to, but sometimes we have to find what A and B are equal to. And sometimes we get lost how to do that. So I'm going to break it down even further for you. All right, here it is. If I'm looking for side C, I'm going to take the square root, parentheses, I'm going to put parentheses in it because this is why. Because you can do all this in your calculator and you need to type it in just like it is. Okay? So C is equal to A squared plus B squared, close parentheses. All right? Simple enough? A is equal to, parentheses, C squared minus B squared. Just take my word for it. And B is equal to C squared minus A squared. So these three formulas are the formulas that I will use to find missing sides of right triangles. These are all derivatives of the Pythagorean theorem. All right? Everybody understand? All right, so let's look at this first triangle. I got 15.7, I got 13.9, and my instructions are to find the missing side right here, which is x. All right? Oh, got to use algebra. No, you don't. You just got to use these derivatives here. That's all you got to use. What side is what is the first thing we need to do. What's 15.7? Is it A, B, or C?
C.
It is C. Okay, 13.9, A or B? Which one y'all wanna use? It doesn't matter, right?
B.
Alright, it's B. So we're gonna look for side A here. Alright, again, that can be B, it doesn't matter. That can be A, it doesn't matter. They are interchangeable, correct? So we go down here and we're looking for A. So we go A is equal to the square root of C squared. C is 15.7 squared, okay, minus B squared, which is 13.9 squared, close my parentheses. Now I'm gonna tap that into my calculator and I'm gonna round my answer to the nearest tenth. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Turn your calculator on. I want you to find the square root sign. It should be second x2. Everybody see the x2 button? Okay, press second x2. Then I want you to type parenthesis. Now I want you to type 15.7 x2 minus 13.9 x2, close the parenthesis and press enter.
7.3.
7.29, Darrell, and that rounds to what?
7.3.
7.3. To the nearest tenth, that answer is 7.3. Now, how complicated was that? Not at all complicated, was it? All right, so let's look at this next one. All right, what side are we looking for here? What side is the X on?
The C.
The C side, right? So this is A, and this is B, or this is B, and this is A. So we're looking for C. The formula to define C is C equals square root, parenthesis, 8.6 squared plus 6.6 squared, close the parenthesis. We use our handy dandy calculator to find the answer. And what'd y'all get? Rounded to the nearest 10.
10.8.
10.8. Very good. 10.8. Now, was that complicated?
No.
That was pretty easy, wasn't it? Okay, first question I get is, that's all we're doing today? No. That is not all we're doing today. I'm moving the picture here. All right. So your next set of questions, we have two more set of questions to go over. Your next set of questions, you're going to be given three numbers. And it's going to ask you this question. Are these three numbers representative of a right triangle? Yes or no? Oh God, what do? Well, what do you know? I know that Pythagorean Theorem says this. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So I'm going to write that down. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to plug them in. What's C here?
8.5.
8.5 squared equals A, we'll just use 1.3 squared plus 8.4 squared. Now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to find out what that equals, and I'm going to find out what that equals, and if those two sides are equal to each other, I have a right triangle. If those two don't equal each other, guess what? I don't have a right triangle. All right? So, what's 8.5 squared?
72.25.
72.25? All right. What's 1.3 squared plus 8.4 squared?
72.25.
72.25. Were those equal to each other? Yes, they were. So do these represent a right triangle? Yes, they do. And that's my answer. Now, let's say, for instance, this was 72.25 and this was 86.31. Do those two equal each other? No, they do not. So is this representative of a right triangle? No, it is not. Okay? Everybody understand?
Yeah.
If they equal, yes. If they don't equal, no. Alright? Alright. Last set of questions. Your last set of questions say this. Do these represent, no, what type of triangle do these numbers represent? A right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or an acute triangle? Weird. All right, so here we go. This is the key that you're going to use. So we said that if c squared equals a squared plus b squared, what type of triangle do we have?
Right.
We got a right triangle. All right. If c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared, guess what type of triangle we have? Obtuse. And if c squared is less than a squared plus b squared, guess what type of triangle we have? Acute. Alright? So all we gotta do is do numbers now. Alright. Which one of these is gonna be C?
31.8.
Alright, here we go. 31.8 squared. Now, I'm not gonna put anything in here because I don't know what it is. See, I'm gonna leave that blank right there. And I'm gonna go 16.5 squared plus 22 squared. Alright? What's 31.8 squared? 1011.24. Alright? What's 16.5 squared plus 22 squared? 766? 756 point what? 25. Alright? Which number is bigger?
The C.
The C is. The alligator eats the big one, right? Which one is that, Matt? Obtuse. So guess what type of triangle we have here? We have an obtuse triangle. It's not a right triangle, it's an obtuse triangle. Okay? Can I have a right obtuse triangle? No, I cannot. Alright? Anybody have any questions?
So does that mean you have a right acute triangle?
Nope, can't have a right acute triangle. Because it's got a 90-degree angle in it. So it'd be a right triangle and a right triangle only. Okay? Anybody have any questions?